Hello and welcome to a guided meditation. Close your eyes and relax. Take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. And now I want you to press like or follow or whatever the fuck you do on podcasts, because I give up every Sunday to come here and do this for you, and you do fucking nothing in return.
Yes, you're very welcome to Paper.
Very welcome to Paper Tuesdays podcast. We're going to build a bit of suspense here. Michael has a big comment to make at the end. We're going to leave it out until the end.
Right.
Michael's comment be, but it's going to be fucking mind-blowing.
You're ready for radio, Marc?
Let's kick off this podcast with the lead topic. Why do you think pigs can't swim?
Because there's no flippers.
And now I don't want to hear the usual straw man argument of the pigs in Barbados. They are different pigs to the pigs we have here.
What happens in Barbados, Marc?
Pigs swim in Barbados. Have you never seen the swimming pigs of Barbados?
No.
Michael, we don't have a screen here, but you can look it up, feel free. It's a big attraction that all the tourists go. I'm sure you've seen it on Instagram. There's like a fleet of pigs that'll swim around the beaches. And they're nice looking pigs. They're not like the ones we have here, which are fucking grotesque.
Right. Would you be pro-pork or anti-pork?
In terms of eating it, or?
Well, they actually look very cute.
Yeah. They're nice pigs. And they swim.
Well, I say very cute. A Jack Russell is probably cuter. This is a poll for Instagram. This has to be a poll because, like, they're little like warthogs. Like they're that sort of.
Yeah. They look nice at a distance.
Yeah, I don't know. Would you be letting it in your bed?
No.
That's a good test.
Good taste. Nice at a distance. Well, you wouldn't let it in your bed.
Yeah.
Why can't our pigs swim?
Why can't... You sound disappointed.
I don't know the answer. Why can't our pigs swim?
Yeah.
Because
have you looked at this up?
I know why. I do know why.
This is next level preparation. You have no notes.
I have not looked this up. I
Alright.
had a conversation with a farmer, so I'm taking them at the
Okay.
So, why pigs can't swim?
Yeah.
You would imagine because they've little legs and they're very heavy.
Yeah.
When in fact, it's because they have little legs, but their hooves are very sharp.
Okay.
So when they go to swim, they slice their own throat. They swim like this, and the hoofs end up scratching and slicing their throat.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. And I learned that from a farmer who is also a vet. So I take it.
Yeah.
And they have nothing to gain from lying to me about that.
No, they don't. It's that authoritative gulp of monster that just crowns your argument, man.
Yeah, you're welcome, Sam Ali, who complained.
He complained
About us drinking on the podcast.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So now we're going to drink even more.
So, which farmer?
Which farmer? Oh, I don't want to.
You don't. Oh, that's okay. Well, that's good. You're proving your worth as a journalist there.
Farmer.
By farmer. Proving your worth as a journalist there, protecting your sources. I like that.
Yeah.
Now I mentioned crowning, and I was thinking of coming over here.
Crowning.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Crowning is like when a baby's being born, isn't it?
Oh, I suppose it is.
Yeah. This is a different kind of crowning.
It is.
Yeah.
I was thinking.
The coronation. Dun, 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 dun. Onwards.
Yeah, did you watch it, Marc?
No, I did not.
Right, a few aspects here, Marc, that we need to get into, right? So I met Liam Condren on the streets of Gorey yesterday, on the finest street of Gorey of the Ball, Esmond Street.
Yes.
What's that?
Where else?
Where else, indeed. We were there at the coach house and we held court for around 15, 20 minutes and a funeral passed by. And anyway, Liam was saying that he was so disappointed with the RT's decision not to show hurling and instead to show the coronation. And I said to Liam, look, what's that?
Sorry, poignant. Onwards.
Poignant, yeah. I said to Liam, look, this is a reflection of where we are as a nation in 2023. That the RTE views that there would be better value in showing the coronation in England rather than here. It was a pure decision in broadcasters' interests to in terms of viewership. And Liam countered that argument and he said, no, it's just one lazy person in RTE deciding that it would be easier to get this stream from ITV and put it on instead of showing Gaelic games. So he was putting it down to one person. But we agreed to disagree and we moved on to other topics like school and how, I don't know, other very important matters.
Yeah. So Liam believes RTE is one man calling the shots. Big RTE. Anyway, yes, Stamp made a point on this.
Okay, right.
Last night he was saying that he would be an avid listener of News Talk.
All right.
For some sort of self-flagellation, but he listens to it daily and nightly on the way into and from work, and he said that all they do on it is complain about how much people are talking about the coronation.
Yeah.
Yet it is all that they talk about.
Yeah.
So therefore they are adding to the fire.
There is a symptom of News Talk of that, but he must be. Aristotle said that a sign of a good man is, or a sign of a wise man is, being able to entertain an idea, but to be able to put it down again.
Yeah.
And there's Gavin Stamp able to listen to News Talk, ranting and raving, and to be able to put them down again.
Yes.
Stamp shows his wisdom.
Stamp-a-stottle.
Stamp what?
Stamp-a-stottle.
Aristotle.
It is such an unbelievable dose of shite, though, isn't it? Like the fact that we still believe in the king and the queen, and like they have done absolutely nothing to deserve it, only be born.
Believe in the king and the queen. Okay, so you're saying
believe in the monarchy.
Belief in the monarchy, yeah,
is to believe in fairies. It is such shite. Why? How? What have they done to deserve the power that they have? Only be born into this world.
I was watching some of the coverage after Queen Elizabeth died, and there were people queuing up and crying and stuff. And the journalist went to one woman and said, "What did Queen Elizabeth represent to you, or something?" The word she used was constancy.
Constancy.
Yeah, and I thought that was a really interesting word. So, like, the Queen didn't have to do anything, but she was always there in the ups and downs of the own trials of life of English people.
But Michael, so was I. So was I. And when I die, no one will care. I have been there. Well, I suppose, what did the Queen actually fucking do, like, during that?
Well, she gave addresses every year, and, like, you know...
I could give addresses.
Yeah, you have to...
God, she's lovely.
Yeah, but you could do it once. I think this is something about our culture as well. Like, we're in a funny old phase where, like, we could do things, like, everyone thinks, oh, well, I could do that. And, like, everyone on Instagram, like, oh, I could do that. Yeah. But could you do it, like...
On a rainy Wednesday in Stoke?
But, like, you do it today. Well, would you do it in 5 years? And that's what, like, when Queen Elizabeth was only a... Oh, my gosh. If I defend the monarchy... like, I see its function, but it's not for me, like.
Yeah. What is its function?
To be there, like, as a... Like, you know, a pillar and post, like, you know, it's just like... It's like...
And oil.
Michael D. Higgins, people do not care or know. I don't think people actually listen to what he says or actually pay much heed to it.
No.
But they like having him there.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's just like, oh, that's great.
But Michael D, to some extent, put in some effort to get there.
Right. Yeah.
He wasn't just born. And
but isn't it better?
Little gremlin, the king of the castle in one day.
Okay. I see your point.
Like the monarchy, so to speak, that was appointed. They were appointed by God at one stage, wasn't it? The original.
They like to trace back their family tree or whatever to such a.
The original king. But that is just one person.
What about
at some point in history that just went, God said I'm king, now let's do what I say.
Yeah.
And then their children and their children, their children now are descendants from that. That's how they have their power.
Yeah. And I think the biggest challenge to that, or the biggest thought invasion or whatever, is that democracy. Democracy has changed everything. Because now that rhetoric, Mark, is as relevant to the King of England as it is to you. That you were appointed by God to be here on this couch for Paper Tuesdays to give your son this earning.
I was.
You were. But, like, Yeah. The coronation, what was also striking me was like, we had coronations here.
Did
There
we?
were tribal coronations. So a king would be knighted or crowned and the battle or among his own tribe. And there was, near the Gap pub,
Yeah.
there was this huge mound, and at the top of the mound there was great celebration, and all the distinguished people of the time would be having a Gaelic Irish tribal inauguration of the new king, and it was a big hoo-ha.
Wow.
And it was the Kinsella tribe, and these were the Gaelic Irish clans that were kind of crushed by the royal, like the initiatives of Queen Henry or
Queen Henry. Very inclusive.
Oh dear, Queen Elizabeth and King Henry, and back in the 1500s and 1600s. But it's just interested that we as Irish people did have these sort of coronations.
Yeah. Yeah. And were our like kings appointed by gods, or were they? Was there like
No, but
within the
God
tribe?
is using it, or they're using God as a legitimate, as a force of legitimacy. It's almost like, oh no, but sure, God give me this.
Yeah.
But like anyone can do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's called a cult.
Yeah.
English is a democracy, isn't it?
No.
No.
It's a parliamentary monarchy, or it's definitely not. But
But they do vote in MPs and stuff into Parliament.
yeah, constitutional monarchy or something. Yeah, but like democracy would be.
Is there any other ones in the world still?
But I suppose it would be democracy. Sorry, I'm just batting over it. Well, sure, it must be a democracy. That's silly with me. Sweden has a monarchy. Spain has a monarchy.
There's a king of Sweden, queen of Sweden.
Yeah,
Really?
yeah.
I never knew that.
And I said about red days, but then I looked it up I was talking about Swedish public holidays, and I was saying how they don't have connected to religious feast days. And then I googled it. They're all connected to religious feast days.
Right?
So I was given inaccurate information by Darren.
Redacted.
And I enforced
I actually was emailing the Prince of Nigeria last night.
that. What did he think? Sorry.
I'm looking after him. He needs to put some funds in my account.
Good timing with the anniversary. Happy anniversary to Marc and Brief.
Oh, thank you, Mark and Breed.
I'm just looking. Oh, sorry, you're going.
Go on.
Yeah, you by this time. Well, by the time this airs, Marc, you will have been to
I
Knockanaw.
will have been to Knockanaw.
What an honour.
Right. What an honour it is. I'm going to fight someone on a mound.
Yeah, well, you'd have to go to Lugnaquilla, the finest mountain of them all.
Isn't Knockanaw the only place that there's ever been someone has died from an avalanche in Ireland?
Oh, wow.
I think we talked about this in the podcast
Did
before.
we?
There was
Wow.
an avalanche in Knockanaw. Yeah, we're staying in someone's back garden.
Yeah.
When
you get to Knockanaw, when
what?
you get to Knockanaw, you will notice that you will reach a crossroads, and at the crossroads there are 5 roads.
Right.
It's very unusual to have 5 roads.
So it's kind of like a starfish.
Starfish, yeah.
Ah, very nice.
Yeah, you'll enjoy that.
We'll have to stop.
You have to-
So I need a recommendation here, Michael. You'll be
Yeah.
fond of that general direction, I imagine.
Oh yeah.
So there's O'Keefe's pub in
Yes.
Knockanaw, is it?
Yeah.
And there is, what's the place where everyone goes walking?
Or
Up
go-
near there,
The Glenmalure.
Glenmalure Lodge.
Yeah.
Which one would you recommend? I've been to Glenmalure Lodge. The food is very good.
Yeah, Glenmalure.
Glenmalure Lodge,
Yeah,
O'Keefe's pub. No,
O'Keefe's
no
pub.
go.
I don't. I think the food they serve is bacon fries.
Bacon fries, right?
It's a very small little pub.
Yes, yeah.
I'm looking up. I was looking up. Is England democracy there or whatever? And I love the options there. Is England a country? Is England Europe? Is England in the EU? Is England in a recession? Is England an island? Is England in NATO? Is England playing rugby today? So is England a democracy? Oh, the politics of the UK functions within a constitutional monarchy where executive power is delegated by legislation and social conventions to a unitary parliamentary democracy. So I suppose it is, in fact, a parliamentary democracy. So there you go.
Therefore, the Queen or the King now does nothing.
Does nothing.
If it's a democracy, it would have to be voted.
Oh yeah.
Or maybe he gets
Yeah.
last say or something.
They have weekly meetings, but it's only information. It's only access he gets.
Have you been to the Tower of London?
Years ago.
Years
Have you?
I have. Yeah, we went. No, when we found out Breed was pregnant in London, and we went to the Tower then, and it's mental, like the amount of wealth, like they have some of the jewels and stuff there, and it's crazy. And the way they used to like treat the prisoners and stuff, and they used to like kill them and all. There's a lot of people died in the Tower of London, a lot of them, and there's like a moat in off the Thames that comes straight in through the gates of the prison, so that's how they bring the prisoners in and all. It's well worth going, but it's like fucking €50 to go in and walk around. Yeah, it's expensive.
My goodness. And you know that they used to use the tower to keep. Let me try and remember this correctly now. They used to, no, more than prisoners. They used to keep
Secrets.
Young women that were like the heirlooms to a great fortune. So there was this woman called Isabel de Clare, and she married William Marshall.
Oh.
And William Marshall built Kilkenny and New Ross.
Wow.
But Isabel, before he got permission to marry her, she was like kept minded because she had such a vast wealth associated with her father. So, and a lot of land and everything. So basically they kept her safe because she was so valuable. And then once they found a suitable suitor, and she was allowed free.
Fuck. So she was currency effectively.
Yeah, big time. Big time.
London was the bank.
Yeah.
Wow. Simpler times.
Indeed.
But not better times. Am I right, girls?
You're listening to the Social Justice Podcast with Marc.
Yes. If you could live in any period of history, when would it be?
Oh, great question. Great question. I was like the 1600s. I don't know why. I just think that they were really simple, and like the people coming together and like, what's going on? What's going on? Because they were coming together and they were living in community or whatever. And like, sure, they had nothing else to do. And sure, it was the mess of life. I love the mess of life.
And was this Ireland you would like to be in the 1600s?
Yeah.
Was the famine not then?
No, famine was 1850s.
Simpler times. It was 1800s was the famine. 1860s.
Or sorry, 1845 to 1850.
Wow. And our grandparents probably were born like the early 1900s.
Yeah. Well,
so they weren't long after it, like after the famine.
Like I love this. I love that my father remembers his grandfather telling him about how his grandfather remembered people going to the workhouse. I remembered people talking about people who went to the workhouse.
What was the workhouse again? You've told me this before.
The workhouse was like they had no money and they had no work, so they put them. People went to the workhouse for where they were minded, basically. Oh, Jamie, we're gonna have to qualify these statements. They weren't minded. They were like, it was like poor relief work. So they did poor relief work and they were fed, and they were fed. There was a hospital there. Yeah, but like it was more. It was just a bleak social time where like there was no work and there was no food, so they had to find some support, and the support came in a communal setting like the workhouse.
Jesus, isn't that mental? Like that wasn't that long ago.
Yeah.
And now like here we are upset because our Instagram post didn't get enough likes.
Yeah.
And sitting on fucking couches and scratching our arses and sniffing it. Speaking of social media, I'm going on a detox. Not a detox. I'm trying to incorporate a healthier relationship with my phone.
Tell us about Screen Zen.
Screen Zen is an app that I downloaded. What was I saying it does? So it will ask me, I'll try to click into a social media app. It will then give me a screen that says, why are you checking this? And then I have the option to unlock it or not unlock it. If I press unlock it, I have to wait 10 seconds before the app opens, so I can still change my mind. Then if I still want to go in, it'll give me 7 minutes before it closes again, and I get to do that 5 times a day before it locks out completely. So, which is really good, and I only downloaded it yesterday, so I'm trying to use it mostly for work. So if I go in, I was like, right, I have 7 minutes here, I need to answer messages and post, and that's it. And I'll do it. I have 5 times a day to do that, so there's no fucking around. I want to spend less time on my phone. I've been reading the book, How to Break Up with Your Phone, and it's very eye-opening. I'd recommend it to anyone listening. It just kind of, remember your man Tristan Harris?
Indeed.
From The Social Dilemma. It's kind of just reaffirming all the stuff he was saying, and like the data and the facts that show that what is actually going on and how it's affecting our attention spans and our kind of creativity. Like, when was the last time You're actually not too bad with your phone, but like, when was the last time you were actually bored?
Or a few days ago, alright. Yeah.
And you didn't use your phone to.
Maybe. I do think that we do. Yeah, you are right. Like, we
Because-
do use our phones to escape boredom
Yeah,
sometimes.
yeah. Like, before smartphones, imagine how often you'd be bored. Like, you're just sitting there. You can't go on your phone and like distract yourself with 500 different things. You just have to sit there in the boredom. And I think that's kind of where creativity will come from. Is just that boredom and your mind kind of wandering on its own.
Yeah, creativity and probably purpose as well. Like, I think if we think that we have to always be like engaged in our phones, well then, like, they're soaping up all our, or as you say, creativity, but also purpose. Like, I think it's a very deep idea that, like, oh, there's my granny ringing me now. So how's your purpose, granny? The like, it's just, what would you say, that the more we associate busyness. I was talking with Conor Moore actually on the phone about this last night. Like, that purpose and busyness. Like, if we just sit still and idle, it feels weird at the start, because like, it's like, I'm not meant to be doing this.
Yeah,
Do you find that?
yeah, definitely. It's like I'm wasting time or something, isn't it? But
Yeah. So like, that strikes me then as if that would be interfering with our purpose, or what we're born for, or what we can be able for. You were very disciplined and very successful in your fitness, Mark. But like, how do you rest? Like, you rest? You must be disciplined with your rest as well, because it is such a part of recovery.
Sleep is probably the biggest one that I had to get right, and I still isn't great every night, but it's something that I always am aware of every day, is trying to get 8 hours, because it makes such a difference to absolutely everything. Like, even the difference in getting 6 and getting 7.5 or 8 has been huge. Like, but I think definitely in terms of rest, I was previously, so I could like have a break in between clients or whatever, and I have 15 minutes, and I'd go on my phone as my break, but I was only leaving myself even more wired or stressed going back into the next one. It wasn't actually like, there was no decompression there. It was like wiring back up through my phone, through all the stimulation, through whether you like it or not. Like, you're comparing your life against what someone else is displaying of the absolute best of their life, and it's just, your phone knows exactly what to show you to get you to engage as well. So if you go back on, it'll show you the most engaging thing first. No matter what you go onto your phone to do, it'll show you the best post that will grab your attention. It knows what you like, what kind of posts you like, what your average watch time is on videos, what kind of videos you will watch, what kind of statements will grab your attention, and then it'll lead to other ones, and then you'll just get so distracted. Apparently also, like, when it shows when people like, it figures out which way you get your likes that will be the most engaging for you. So if you like seeing one like and another like, then another like, it'll show you like that. Or if you will engage more with, say, 10 in a row coming in, and then 10 in a row in another 5 minutes, it'll do it that way. So it'll release the likes like that. So it knows exactly what you're doing. It's also like, I was listening to a podcast on it, and there's like the highest rate of depression in teen girls now that there's ever been. And like, that comes down to, I'm saying like a lot, I just realized that comes down to your post, obviously self-image and stuff seems to be more important for women than it is for men, how they look and stuff, but now people are actively posting photos of themselves, asking people to comment on them. So that's very tough as well.
It's their own work, it's their own sense of value, it's their own sense of,
and we all do it. Like, no one, I do this, everyone does it. It's inescapable, it's part of being a person. But it's just like being aware of how much these apps are manipulating your own brain. They know what, like, the invention of the like and comments and reshares and retweets and stuff like that is just, it's all tied into our self-worth, and they know that. They know that that's what people want status, people want to be liked, people want all this stuff, and so they're going to try to get that through the app, and they know how to give it to you. That keeps you engaged, it keeps you coming back.
yeah. But like, if we as a people are more responsible and aware, well then, like, we can use these tools for our betterment. Like, you understand this and understand the harm of social media, and yet you're still posting actively on social media, you know, so you see it's like knowing that a glass of shoe of wine isn't too bad.
It's a necessary evil, I think. Especially for me, like I'm doing it solely, well, not solely, like, but it helps my business posting that, you know, and it's marketing, it's advertising. That's what social media is. Like the currency on social media is your attention. That's all they're looking for is your attention, and you're giving it to them, and they know how to get it, you know. So it is in some parts a necessary evil. Like it's impossible. I wouldn't be able to run a business without social media.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not at all. Not at all. I could post like classes or whatever. I could put up a flyer in the fucking shop, but at the end of the day, like if no one actually knows who I am, they can't build any kind of rapport or relationship with me. They're going to go with someone else who they can do that with.
Yeah. Wow. Right. That's true. Yeah, Jenny Mac. I'll tell you now, Mark. I was wound up yesterday because Wexford were lost, and I did that thing that my father does. It must be a genetic trait where I roared at the telly for about 10 minutes anyway. But I was wound up, and an issue came up with Ashton and her personal care, and okay, Ashton, her hair didn't work out or whatever. So her personal care just sounds more suspect. So it was 10 o'clock and we were on the way back from Tesco, and I said to Ashton, right, Ashton, I need to walk for 5 or 10 minutes. I just need to my head is wired. I need to expend some energy, and I'll be back in 5 or 10 minutes. Ashton absolutely hated this idea. She said, you know, she was very concerned, even though we live on near a very quiet road. She was very concerned that a car would speed up and they'd see some idiot on the road in a high-vis jacket, and they wouldn't spot him in time, and it'd be carnage. So Ashton thought she would suggest, Michael, let's do Tai Chi on the grass, and then you wouldn't go for a walk. And she thought I would laugh on this berserk idea and just forget about my idea of a walk. No, I said yes. That's do Tai Chi in the garden.
Called her bluff.
I was the instructor. Now I wasn't the best instructor in that I said at the start, close your eyes, but then she couldn't see what I was telling her to do. So I revised my instruction. Then I said, no, keep your eyes open. And it was lovely. It was what, 10:30 or that, and we were there on the grass, and I was given the best I could with the Tai Chi. But then I said, now put all your weight on your right foot and feel the energy sink into the earth, and feel the connection that you have with the earth, and let all the energy of your body flow into the centre of your right foot. And then I just went, that's nice. And she burst into laughter. The glass was over.
Was this was at night, you said, like 10 o'clock?
Last night. Yeah.
So you're doing it in the dark?
Yeah.
The moon last night. Bring on the moon.
Bring on the moon.
Did you see the moon last night?
Did you see the moon? No, actually, it was sheltered.
Big, huge moon.
Wow, really?
Really low down. Yeah, we seen on the way back from Dublin.
Wow. Shady Mac.
Yeah.
No, we just saw the stars.
The stars. And, well, you didn't see much because Aislinn's eyes were closed.
Yeah, she did indeed.
And all her energy had gone into the grass.
It's the grass, yeah.
So Aisling is no longer with us. She's with the earth now. No, I'm sorry. I need to stop making jokes like that. You died last week.
Last week? As early as that?
I've heard the poem.
Oh, yeah. But do you remember when... Remember when I wasn't here for a weekend? It was you and Brit or something. You said, Michael, it's not worth it. Oh, dear.
But you're back now.
I'm back now. Back for good, yes. Well, for now. Ooh. And is it time for my comment of the week, Mark?
Yeah, let's go.
Yeah. Mark, we are going to be stuck in cancel culture until we learn to forgive.
Yes. Cancel culture is a big problem right now. We need to forgive the council. I was at work one day.
Oh, sorry.
I was in the gym one day, and I looked out the window, and the council had pulled into the car park, and we're sitting there for 2 hours hiding from work.
Anyway,
no.
But first of all, you're the fact that you picked up on that proves that my pronunciation needs to improve, because last night I was on the phone to Conor Moore and I gave him my big thought of the week or whatever, and Conor goes, "What's council culture?"
No, I knew you said cancel. I just
Yeah, but still, whatever way it rolls off my tongue is very alike. And speaking of council culture, I've noticed, shout out to Tesco delivery drivers. I think that if you go around the country and you see a Tesco delivery driver, they kind of pull in now in areas where like they get. And I remember going up to a Tesco delivery driver once and saying, "Do you need directions?" He goes, No, I'm great." So I think well, sure, look, they're probably poorly paid and they're probably well deserved their breaks. I'm not drawing attention to that. But yes, council culture, yes, indeed. We need to have a culture for the council.
What was the statement on cancel culture?
Cancel culture, I just think that everything is being cancelled every week. And, you know, there's this, well, I don't know if it's cancelled or everything's being given out from about every week, but like that's the currency that we feed on. It's a bit like, have you ever heard of pendulums, Marc?
Pendulum, well, the actual, like...
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's this thinking from a Russian person. I just don't know who thought of it, but it's this idea that everything is a pendulum. Like when you think that COVID, when you think about COVID and the news and even monarchy, Marc, that like all these things are like, it's our energy going into it, social media, our energy going into it, and that it creates this pendulum that swings back and forth. And until you recognise that step back, then you exit the pendulum, so to speak.
Yeah.
So there's all, in life today, we've pro-immigration, anti-immigration. Like it covers absolutely everything, all the threads of life. And it's as if we don't withdraw, I just think I'll keep doing it.
Tai Chi.
But like it's just, yeah, so I don't know, cancelling probably isn't as strong anymore, but there is a lot of a tendency towards like just if something's annoying, just that it become a big deal.
Yeah.
And like until we learn to forgive what has happened, or to forgive, like obviously hurts happen and things are wrong, and like of course there should be a necessary time, but sometimes I think there's a we dwell in that instead of learning to, okay, that's happened, that's awful, but let's forgive that and move on.
Yeah. Yeah. But like there's also nothing to be gained about being upset by things you can't control.
Yeah.
Like I am fiercely upset about the monarchy and the king, but I can't control it, so I'm going to go to Knocknana and see the crossroads and take a photo with it, and I'm going to enjoy my life, die of old age. And the crossroads will still be there, and King Charles might still be there because he's drinking the blood of babies. But why? It's ridiculous. And you see, Facebook is the worst place for it in the world. People getting upset over absolutely nothing and writing big essays and then arguing with people back and forth. Nobody has ever won an argument on Facebook, by the way, either. You will never change anybody's mind in the comment section of Facebook. Because they can always just do a laughing reaction to your comment and leave it at that.
Yeah.
And that will infuriate you.
Yeah.
So just leave yourself the hardship.
Instead, Marc, we should just go along and we should be the Facebook police, Marc, and we should, when we spot an argument in the comment section, we should go with the care icon.
Yeah.
And
we'll have profile pictures with the little bowler hats. Officer helping Facebook police.
That would be a life dream of yours, because you've commented before, like, well, I still don't fully understand the concept of, like, we're drawing people's phones.
Oh, yeah.
I thought it'd be you knocking on the door and say, hello, how are you? I'm going to have to take your phone. Like
the TV licenses.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'll just get a little, put the phone in the bag, please. I'll be back with it in a week. Yeah. But the whole thing of getting upset over things you can't control is ridiculous. And it's just like, you can't make jokes about this or that or this. That's not funny, even if it was very funny. But I think most people are able to see through that. You know, the whole, you can't say this or you can't say that. It's the intention behind it is what's important.
Yeah. And you know what I think? There's something Irish about that. I think we have a skill in that, well, maybe it's most people or something, but this is where I was coming from with the whole thing with Liam Condren, that like our sense of Irishness is still in its infancy. It's still underdeveloped. And like, I'm not saying that when you think like, I believe that we should be more Irish, but like people, but like to be Irish is to welcome all. And like, we went everywhere to America. So like, when I would say more Irish, I mean, give an Irish welcome to everyone that's come into the new Irish communities and all. And like, we need to bind ourselves together more as a nation, that like, we're stronger and we don't need to look on a monarchy elsewhere. We don't, like, we have to find that internal dwelling space within us. Like, it's all new thinking or whatever, but I still believe that in decades to come we'll find that way. The GA is a fine example, but it doesn't bring everyone, like, unless you're like Gaelic Games.
Yeah.
And
I was actually on thinking about this. I was putting something in the boot in my car the other day, and I was thinking about how people who will complain about the Ukrainians coming in or the refugees coming in, and they'll, like, you know, give out about that or put it on Facebook, whatever, and then 2 years later you see they're in Australia because there's no money in Ireland, and they expect the same treatment over there.
yeah,
Like, you're just slightly up the ladder on that realm of what's going on, but you're doing the exact same thing over there, and you expect to be treated with respect and like to be accommodated
yeah,
in another country, whereas you're refusing to do that for people here.
yeah, absolutely. And like, isn't it interesting in Australia, like how, like, because the vote is mandated, there was a lot more political engagement and I felt when I was over there.
Do you have to vote in Australia?
Yeah,
Right, I didn't know
it's a
that.
legal requirement.
Really?
New Zealand the same, yeah.
I have never voted. I might have voted once.
Oh.
I revoke my right to vote. I don't think I deserve it. I'm working on myself, trying to read more, spending less time on my phone. Maybe in a couple of years I'll vote. I'll vote for you, Michael.
Oh, thank you, Mark. Thank
Cancel
you.
culture.
Yeah, cancel. Well, yeah.
When James Flood is going to run soon
Is he?
from the Paper Tuesdays party.
What does the Paper Tuesdays party stand for?
We have pink lemonade and salt and vinegar crisps and the little poo things. Join the Paper Tuesday party. That should be the background of the campaign picture.
Yeah. Okay. Let's go with this. Oh yeah.
Oh, sorry. Go on. Keep going.
I just go to say, right. So Flood's campaign launch. Do we have it in Flanagan's Wharf? And do we have? We get chips from the Dinky, or we get gigs the clouding.
And his video or whatever, his campaign video is him going down the slide.
Boom boom. I'd vote for
your local constituency.
Oh, he'd be great.
Last night,
That's nice.
really created a want in me. Has always been a bit of want in me, but I miss doing the live shows. Do you know the whole app?
Get away.
Yeah.
No way.
Yeah.
Oh gosh.
Yeah. We
What
still
we gonna do?
yes. We'll keep that's more what's it called?
Build suspense.
Build suspense.
Mm.
Build suspense.
Interesting. Yeah.
TBC.
TPC. Woohoo. We'll go to the tree read to see if
Yeah. We will, because we're not going to touch the chairs up there.
What happened?
Well, we touched some chairs or something the last day.
Oh.
In our last bite.
Oh yes. Yeah.
The only thing is, Frico's doing the lights.
Yeah, that's a guarantee.
That's a guarantee.
That's sure as light follows day if Rico's doing the lights. Shane's been fantastic as always with his lights and his cameras, and he's just great. Shane helping marketing if you ever need an old video or if you want Zuckerberg to share something. He's your man.
Thank you very much. Make sure and you like or follow or what do you do on Spotify? Do something
subscribe.
positive.
Yeah, we're actually, if you're watching this on YouTube, if you're we're very close to 200 subscribers.
Oh, so do that as well.
Yeah.
Subscribe.
And
just do fucking something. Press something good. And we will be very appreciative.
yeah.
Thank you very much. Good night. God bless.
Take it easy. Close the door on the way out. Thank you.